Hi, this is Roger Peterson. In this video, I want to talk about new legislation that was passed regarding enhancement of money laundering regulations in Costa Rica. This new law is going to have an impact on real estate transactions in Costa Rica. So let's discuss a little bit about how this is going to affect the real estate sector and what you need to take into account when you're purchasing or selling your real estate in Costa Rica. This enhanced money laundering legislation is known around the world as gatekeeper legislation. And Costa Rica passed this law in order to conform with the requests from the Financial Action Task Force, also known as GAFI, which is an intergovernmental organization with a global initiative to combat money laundering around the world. Okay, so what does the law say? It basically says that anybody involved in the real estate sector in a habitual manner of selling or involved in the purchase and sale of real estate is now obligated to carry out a extended due diligence as to the source of funds involved in that transaction. So this now expands to real estate agents, real estate developers, and real estate companies. It doesn't stop there. It extends it also to the professionals involved in carrying out the transaction. For example, the Notary Public, the lawyer, and even accountants are now also duty bound to carry out due diligence on their clients regarding their source of funds used in this transaction. In Costa Rica, you can generally not buy a piece of property or even a car unless you get a Notary Public involved in the transaction. The Notary Publics are the gatekeepers to the recording system. As such, what the law has done now is that it has imposed an additional burden on the Notary Public to become the financial gatekeeper as well. Under this new law, the Notary Public is now responsible to ensure that the buyers of real estate in Costa Rica sign a sworn affidavit under oath for the purchase of a real estate. In that affidavit, the purchaser must swear under oath before that notary that the amount of the transaction, 2, the amount of taxes that are going to be paid as a result of the transaction, 3, the amount of fees and recording costs that are going to be generated by that transaction, and then also where the money came from. They have to specify specifically the sources of the funds that are being used in the real estate transaction. And one step further, you have to certify where those funds are going to be deposited. So if you purchase or sell real estate in Costa Rica, just be prepared to provide more detailed financial information regarding the transaction, and that applies whether you're going to buy the underlying asset, whether you're transferring the property from seller A to buyer B, or if you're selling the stock of the corporation that owns the property. This is going to apply as well. The same regulations are going to cover both types of transactions. And the reason for this is they're preparing for the next phase, which is the implementation of the Costa Rican Stockholder Registry. Well, thank you for watching the video. Your feedback is always very important. So if you have any questions, please feel free to drop me an email and let me know what's on your mind. Thank you.